All right, so for this one, I'm going to call this Me, Myself, and I project. And what we're going to create is something like this, where it's you, or you don't have to do me, myself, and I. It doesn't have to be all yourself. Actually, it should be. Let's make it be exactly that. That way, yeah. Let's make it three yourself in different outfits, different poses, doing something each time a little different, and with a title. So how we're going to go about this is the way I recommend it is go to the internet and search for texture and wallpaper. Texture will give you these different backgrounds, and wallpaper will just kind of guarantee that it's big, and HD just does it even more. You're basically saying high definition, so hopefully the files that you end up with are really large. That way they fit the screen. And here you can see the one that I used. Maybe you can pick your whatever theme you want to use. I'm going to go ahead and do the same one. And actually I already saved it. I just right click and say save image as, save it onto your hard drive somewhere. And I've already got them. Yeah, I've already got them in here for me, myself, and I. Okay, so I also brought in a spiral clock. I found one that looked kind of cool. So anyways, here we go. First, let's bring in the gears. Just drag and drop. And you got to obviously size it to fit. And if you bring this in and it doesn't have the handles on it, like let's say we click off or something, or we click this, okay. The way to get that back is click on it and hit Control T. Control T will bring up the scale handles. Okay, so then you click off that, and that is gears layer. Now I'm going to make another layer and bring in, I guess I have it in, where are my images? Yeah, I guess here they are. So I'm going to drag in, I'll drag in the one where I'm on the left. Okay, so looks like it fit perfectly. So I'm going to hit, I just moved it to just see if it was in the right spot. Control Z puts it back. So now obviously we need to see this part of the picture, the me part of the picture, and not the room. And what I recommend using, you can use any kind of lasso tool you want, but I'm going to use the quick selection tool. I just discovered that and I really like it. I'm going to hit Z and zoom in, hold space bar to reposition, maybe zoom in a little bit more. Too much. Oh man, what's going on? There we go. All right, I'll quit while I'm ahead. Now let's go back to the quick selection tool, and if you just click right here, click right there, at some point after a couple clicks you'll notice it just grabs all that, and that's great. And I'm just going to keep clicking and click, and it just sort of figures out. Now obviously I don't want the clock, but I can tell the computer to treat it that way afterwards. So I'm going to click on this, click on that, click. In fact, I think you can just kind of paint around. So I'm holding the mouse button down, and obviously I'm going to need to go up to fretboard, and it's kind of figuring it out as I go. And that is really handy. Looks like I still need to get this. Yeah. Okay. Pretty good. Now I'm going to zoom in. I think I should zoom in over here. Hold space, reposition. Back to the quick selection tool. I think I want to tell it to keep this part because that's part of my jacket, but that's part of a pillow behind me. So I'm going to hold Option or Alt and click on it. to make it go away. And then I'm going to let go, and I'm going to click again. And see, it's interesting that it kind of figures out, the first time it jumped all the way out to here, but I think part of it is that I'm just barely letting this oval, this circle, go outside the line. Now let's try hold shift. Let's scoot up here to the clock, and I'm going to hold alt again. Click, click. Okay, now it took away. Looks like I need to help it a little bit more. It just needs to know what I want to select. So now I'm going to let go of alt and click here. And maybe it's because I'm zoomed in a little bit. I'm going to hold option or alt and click right there. Now I'm going to have to do it again. Yeah, it's having a little bit of a problem deciding what to do with that right there. But no worries. We can just use, I'm going to hold this and use the polygon lasso tool. And now I'm going to hold, if I hold shift, you can see a little plus sign. If I hold alt, you can see a minus. So that's what I want. I'm going to click right here. I'm going to go down to there. And then double click. And you'll see it took away. And that might be good, except for right here. In this case, I'm going to start on the inside. I want to add to it right there. So I'm going to click right here. Oh, I guess I need to hit shift. Yeah, there's the plus sign. Hit shift and then go like that and go like double click, and it basically grabs that. That's looking better. This right here I think is actually part of the 12, the 2, so maybe I can zoom in a little bit more. Oops. Oh no, I lost it. Control Z. Nope, I need to let go of this. Now Control Z. There. That freaked me out. Okay, so once again, zoom in real good and use the polygon lasso tool. Hold alt or option, and let's go like this, that. I got to go out here before I double click, because when I double click, it's just going to close from wherever I am to wherever I started. So there we go. Looks like it still didn't get rid of that. Okay, better. Now Control 1 or Control 0, hit Z. I want to zoom in. Looks like over here by my ear I need a little bit more adjustment. I'm going to go back to the quick selection tool. I'm going to put the circle just on the edge there, and it looks like it's figuring it out. Hold spacebar. I think I'll click right there. Okay, hold spacebar. All this up here looks good. Yeah. Pretty good. Oh, right there's some that I don't need, so I'm going to hit option. Looks like you can see, I just noticed faintly in the very center of that circle there's a plus sign, but if I hold alt it turns into a minus. So that's their way of communicating with us as to what it will do. For this part, I think I will use the polygon lasso tool because I want a straight line. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to click here first. Actually, I might want to zoom out a little bit. Whoops. Yeah, reposition. And now we'll go back to the polygon tool. I'll click right here. And then, oh, darn it. Forgot to hit shift. So Control Z to get that selection back. That's important. I don't want to lose that. Hold shift before I click. And then go up to here. Now, just complete kind of a rectangle. Now you can see it pretty much fixed that. Now back to the quick selection tool. Click right here, click right there. And I'm not pressing any buttons. It just assumes that I want to add to the selection. And right here, there. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, now Control 1. I think it's pretty well done. The trick now is to, while this is selected, if you click this down here inside the layer panel, see where my mouse is going, click that, it just automatically assumes that's what you want. Now, here's an interesting observation. You can kind of see there's a little bit of a glow around me, right here especially. So I'm going to hit Control Z to bring it back. And now we want to make the selection actually shrink in all the way around, So I'm going to go Select, Modify, Contract. And you can tell it to contract by just one. Let's start with that. And then we'll go Mask. Okay, so it fixed it a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and undo it one more time. Select, Modify, Contract. Oops, it's not what I wanted, Feather. Select, Modify, Contract. Okay, now we'll try that again. And I could probably also just have surgically adjusted just in that layer, but I wanted to show you how you could, shrink the entire selection all at once. So I could hit undo, and let me zoom in right here. This is the part that's sort of glowing. So if I wanted to, I suppose I could go like this and hold Alt, just tell it to shrink in a little bit. That's too much. All right, so I did too much, but I'm going to use the lasso tool to hit Shift, and maybe I'll go like this, like that. I don't know if that'll look good or not. It might conflict with what else is going on there, but let's jump over here while we're at it and take care of some of the glow here. This time I'm going to use minus. I'll hold Alt and I'll cut into it and go there, there. Just basically bringing the selection in a tiny bit. And then I'll just click here and double click, and now it takes that all out. I think that is about it. So now let's Control 1 to zoom out. Let's, while it's still selected, hit Mask. Yeah, that looks better. Still a little bit of a glow right there, but we're not trying to win any awards with this assignment. But if you were super serious about your work, you might actually go through even more trouble. So Control 1. For one, this gears in the background looks cool, but we want our subjects to stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to double click on this layer and just do, nope, actually I don't want to do that. I want to, while this layer is selected, I want to go up to, where is it? Image, no, edit, layer. Nope. Looking for, there it is, filter, blur, and Gaussian blur. So with Gaussian blur, you can see now it's already blurred pretty good. That would be barely, that's 0.1. And you just cruise up however much you feel you need to. And yeah, it looks good. And if you need to hit preview and unpreview to test, the difference, sometimes when you move this, it may not update. If it doesn't, you can turn it on and off like that and get a good idea what it's doing. All right, so I'm going to hit OK. And hopefully you can see that it's causing me to stand out more than all the busyness of the background. Yet it still has that cool pattern. Okay, so now you can see I have right here this mask. When I clicked layer mask, it automatically turned that selection into sort of like the hole through which we're seeing or not seeing. You can see a white silhouette of me, and then everything else is black. So this has all been on the layer mask. This has all been painted black, and this is all white. So we just need to do it again. And I don't know if I need to actually create a new layer. If I drag a new image in, I think it might just create a new layer for me. Let's see what happens. I don't know if it did anything. So let me try it again. There. Okay, and yeah, it's on its own layer, so that's good. So basically what we need to do is the same thing. We just need to use this quick selection tool. Select, just quickly. And do. Okay, that's pretty good. Except for now we have this, so I'm going to hit Alt. And we don't want this window to be part of it. But we do want my arm, so I'll zoom in. I think maybe it knows to do a better job when I zoom in more. Yeah, just as I hope. This is what I like this tool. It's pretty good. I'm going to hit Alt and click on there. Whoops, undo. Seems like, well, no, it still jumped. Okay, Alt. I'm going to hit over here. There we go. And cruise down. Looks like right there's a spot where I need to hold Alt. Oops. There we go. Much better. Looks like this is part of my shirt too. Alt. I think I'll take that off. Maybe I'll take this off too. Little corner. Okay, so Alt there. All in all, pretty fast, really. Looks like I should probably get rid of this. In this case, I'll use the lasso tool just because I think it might be less of a hassle. Alt, kind of follow the curvature and go out here and double click. There we go. Yeah, probably need to do it here too. I need to add to it. Okay. All right, so now while it's all selected, whoops, what's it doing? There, I hit escape. Sometimes when you're caught in a dialogue or a step that you didn't want, hit escape and it'll break you out of it. So now while that's all selected, I hit mask, and let's do Control-1, zooms me out. There we go. So now I can position myself however I like. And while I'm at it, I'm going to add a shadow to myself here. And the way you do that is double click over here to the right on the layer and say drop shadow. And then you can manipulate. Yeah, double click it. Okay. Then we can manipulate the distance. Oh, looks like 90 degrees. I want it to probably be more like that. And how much it spreads out is this one. And size of the shadow, maybe not. Well, it looks like the shadow is helping me see that there's a little artifact that I don't actually want. So I'm going to hit cancel. And let's go, let's hide everything except for, there it is. So let me zoom in and use the quick selection tool and hit option. And is it doing it? Oh, actually, let's use the brush tool. So I hit B, and then what we need is black. Let's see, what is it? Brush. Why is it not? Oh, I need to click on the mask. Yeah. Now it'll let me think. Oops. Maybe I need to hit, yeah, I need to paint black. Oh, I guess it's because this is selected maybe? Hit deselect. Now maybe it'll let me, yeah, that was the problem. So I'm basically just painting black over this, even though it looks white. No, that might be confusing. But you see on the mask over here, everywhere you paint white, you'll see that part of the image, and everywhere there's black, you won't. So, in other words, if I go like that, it's gone, and you can, well, you can't really see it over there. It's too small, but yeah, now you're seeing it. So, Control Z, and likewise over here, I have black selected, and white is in kind of the background. But if I hit X, it'll reverse it, and then you see if I paint white, you'll start to see white right there in the mask, and now I'm seeing the picture, which I actually don't want. But yeah, so there's how it works. And let me bring back all this And you just do it for one more picture and do it exactly the same way. And that's how you do this project. So carry on. Oh, I forgot. I want to put drop shadow now that there's not that weird little artifact. So distance, yeah, I'd like the angle to be about like so. And maybe the spread not to be so big. Yeah, just enough to make me stand out from the background. Now you just need to bring in the third one, and this is the me, myself, and I. Save it as such, and there you go. Save to computer. Okay, and that's the way you do this one.